Hey everybody, today I'm going to react to Spider-Man costumes from throughout the ages. So I haven't seen a lot of Spider-Man comics, I haven't really read any of them, but I remember from the Spider-Man video game on PS4 there were a lot of costumes that people raved about as being from the original comics. So I thought I'd take a look at some of these today and react as somebody who doesn't really know much about them. Well, I do know something about him, right? He's Peter Parker, he got bit by a magic spider, or a chemical spider, or some kind of spider. And then he has the ability to swing through the city and shoot webs, and he's got a girlfriend, and he's poor, and all sorts of stuff happens to him. But I don't really know a lot about the deeper inner lore. Anyway, let's get started. So we've got Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, and he's in a black or dark blue leotard with, the sort of red iconic spiderweb pattern, but he's got sort of flying squirrel wings made out of webs, and he's carrying some bad guy around. It looks pretty straightforward. I'd say a lot of Spider-Man costumes are based on this one. It's kind of the original, it says Spider-Man. Oh, now this is the one I really remember. Forget that last one. And they got rid of the weird spider webbing under his armpits. I don't know, this isn't Venom? Maybe it's Venom? Looks like Venom? I don't know much about Venom because I only saw the Tom Hardy movie, which was good. And so he's got a black outfit with a white scorpion. It looks like a scorpion, but I know it's supposed to be a spider. But it looks really badass though. I mean, it looks super ninja badass. And then we have a much more carefully rendered version of Venom. And I see that it's not a scorpion at all. It just has a really big spider butt. And he's looking like he's had a really tough day and he's in a bad mood. Gonna make trouble. Is this Spider-Man or one of the Fantastic Four? I guess this must have been when he was pretending to be a Fantastic Four guy, because he's shooting the webs and he's flying around, and of course he has a bag on his head. Very economical. Okay, and then this is, I'm not quite sure what this is. It looks like he's covered in spider ice cubes, and I guess it says spider armor, so he's got some really tough armor to protect him, which is smart because he's always kind of getting shot at or hit with things. But you do wonder, how does he manage, at least in the movies, how does he have like an entire airport fall on him and he kind of shakes it off and goes back to business? Yeah, it would make sense that he has armor, although it does look like it's a little heavy. It looks like it would be something that flying around would be a little harder, kicking people and punching and stuff, doing those backflips that he does. Oh no. Oh, what terrible fate has befallen poor Peter. Is he a zombie? Is this his corpse? It's some kind of, his eye is rotting out. Well, one eye is rotting. The other eye has got the droops. Very creepy. Could just be a Halloween costume, who knows? Ooh, all right. So this is kind of Spider-Man if Spider-Man were also Iron Man, sort of. Because he's got all these metal bits coming off of him, and I wonder if this is the original comic book version. My guess is this is the original comic book version, or one of them, that led to his spider suit that Tony Stark gives him. But it looks really pretty cool, like he could really do someone some serious harm with those extra spider poker things, pincers. I'm not really sure what those are supposed to be. They'd really take your eye out. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, so Spider-Man gets extra Spider-Man arms. So he has 6 with his legs, that makes 8, so he's a legit spider. He's a legit spider, and he's kind of busting out of his clothes with extra arms. Makes you wonder how all of that is gonna work, And why doesn't he have 2 extra arms and then 2 extra legs? He's got 6 arms and 2 legs. It'd be really fun if he had these extra legs hanging out, and then he had to put shoes on them and walk around with these useless legs. Or he could get down on all 6 or on all 8 and crawl around. That'd be fun. Yeah, that also looks kind of like a bad day though when he has to talk to Aunt May. I don't know what those are, boxing gloves or really big socks on his hands and feet. Not too sure if I like that too much. This is like Spider-Man if he was also in Tron. I guess those are normal spider webs, but they look kind of like ice to me. Like they've got extra powers imbued in the spider webs, but it looks very neon, very high-tech and cool. He needs to get on a light cycle. All right, there's a lot going on in this picture. Ah, there he is. Okay, so we have the Fantastic Four and a parakeet and baby Yoda, maybe, over in the corner there. And then Spider-Man's in the front in a really cool monochrome outfit. I love black and white monochrome things. That looks really neat. It's very clean. You don't have to have all the sort of busyness of the spider webs in it. You know, it still says spider because it's got a big spider on his chest. And then there's a monkey head in a jar. That's pretty cool. And there's Spider-Man in, I guess, a t-shirt with a really cool belt and also some ankle belts. That's venturing into the sort of Kingdom Hearts Nomurian thing where you've got too many belts. And then like wrist belts. But looks pretty cool. I like the t-shirt. The t-shirt works well. I think the eyes are a little too big. I mean, his eye goes from the top of his head to his teeth. That's a lot of eyeball, you know? We're still not really sure how that mask works as far as conveying visual information to Peter's eyes, but that's, I guess, the magic of comic books or the suit or something. But that's a cool shirt. I would get that shirt, the t-shirt, with that cool sort of elliptical football-shaped spider design. That'd be pretty neat. Okay, so it's sort of a Doc Ock Spider-Man hybrid, kind of a Power Rangers vibe with the big forearm stuff and the helmet. I don't know, I know it's more accurate to have like 6 eyes going up like an actual spider, but I always thought that looked kind of gross. So it's like Shakespeare Spider-Man, and he's being thrown out a window by Beast, I guess, blue hands, and he's got his cool, very stylish ruff. He's only about how many centuries too late with that style, but it looks cool. And maybe with the buttons, he's also a butler or a valet or something. If it weren't for the fact that he could swing, I'd be really worried about him being upside down in midair like that. But I'm sure he'll land on his feet just fine. Yikes. Okay, so he stopped being human at some point. Still has the spider marks on him, and he's going after, I guess that's Dark Elf or Evil Goblin or Bad Troll, something like that, with a fire and a ninja sword. I mean, a samurai sword. I mean, if you have a flamethrower, do you need the sword? That's kind of gilding the lily. This is definitely from a cartoon. Not from the 80s, but probably from the 70s, or maybe even the 60s. And he's on his way out the door, having captured somebody, unless that's the newspaper guy. That's James Jonah, something, JJ, right? He's apparently had enough of him and his nonsense, and he's tied him up in a web. And now he's gonna leave and get a sandwich. What a yo-yo. Wow. I think this is from the Electric Company. For a time, I think the show The Electric Company for kids in the late 70s, early 80s had a Spider-Man character, and he would help you learn how to read. That's really going back. Yikes. This has got to be some kind of Japanese Power Ranger thing. That's one of Rita Repulsa's bad monsters that she throws down from the moon, and Spider-Man's going to take care of him today. That's cute. Yes, too many Spider-Men. Oh, wow. All right, so we've got a lot of costumes here. We've got all the costumes that we talked about before, sort of, and also a Spider-Man eating burgers, and a dog dressed as Spider-Man. Some more of these, 1950s film noir Spider-Men. There's a Spider Lady over on the right side with 2 Spider Ladies. Actually, the one with the white hair is probably just kind of a rock and roll Spider-Man. It's a dude, but he likes that kind of long hair rock and roll look. And that's it. Took a look at a lot of Spider-Man costumes. I have a feeling there's probably at least 100 more that we didn't see. If I were to choose a favorite, I mean, you can't go wrong with the iconic blue or black and red with the spider pattern. That's pretty cool. But I'd have to say the one that has that electric Tron look is probably the most striking to me. That one is probably my favorite. First of all, he's out at night, so glowing makes a lot of sense. But also graphically, I like that the spider is reduced to some basic shapes. So it still says Spider-Man, but in a way that seems deconstructed and clever and graphic. So that's why I like that one the best. But I want to know which one you think is the best. Do you agree with my choice, or do you have one that you'd like better? And if you know of one that I didn't have in my review today, go ahead and leave that one in the comments as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.